supermodel with beautiful virgin hair products. The best real hair guaranteed with Pape and Camille Beauty Hair. Pape and Camille Beauty Hair products. 4-pack Brazilian Plus closure for £90. Special offer, Brazilian hair, 8 inches for £10, 10 inches for £12, 12 inches for £15. Lace wig frontal, 10 inches starts from just £55. Find these and other great deals with 100% guaranteed human hair at the Pape and Camille store in Brixton. Hop into our Brixton store today or go online with free next day delivery at pchairlimited.com. With Pape and Camille, you have the freedom to be really gorgeous.
Bavidi Luxury Hotel, the newest home away from home in the Nigerian hospitality industry. 10 minutes only from the local and international.
Thanks for joining me once again. It's Rose on All Sides. It's good to have you join us. Two things are competing to be mentioned on, the first thing I was going to say on the program. But first, I just have to say it because it is a big deal. The whole world is talking about it. We say congratulations to the royal couple for the birth of the royal baby. That's the royal baby Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor. Beautiful, beautiful pictures of him and a lovely baby. I mean, just look at that. It's so beautiful. Harry and Meghan, we say congratulations to you. I mean, the whole world, we've been expecting this, and voila, our baby is here. You know, really, I must say this, I've always had this feeling that I'm kind of linked with the royals in one way or the other. Oh, okay, Uche just kept splashing those photographs, but I need to talk about this particular one anyway. It seems to be one of the most talked about one with the Queen, Meghan's mom, and of course Prince Harry is there, and the grandfather also. It's just so lovely. The new addition to the royal family. We say congratulations to them. We're still going to be talking more about that, but I just have to quickly mention this. If you've been following the program, you know I've been talking to you about the 15 different styles of the Pape and Camille styles for the summer. I'm wearing the 4th one. We are keeping it steady, lovely, and of course it keeps getting better. You'll be seeing the whole 15. And of course when you go to Pape and Camille at Brixton, and that's Electric Avenue 22A, you, with the code of course, Rose201, you can get to purchase this. It came on, with the price list of £96, but Pape is doing a giveaway prize, I mean in the next few weeks, for £30. That is exceptional. And for all the products, you give that code, Rose201, you would get a 50% discount. That's been out of the way. Let us go back to the royal family and to the new addition. As the whole world is saying, congratulations. There's just quite a number of people who seem not to be happy about this. Number one is the 61-year-old BBC reporter who put up a tweet at the early hours of, I think that was yesterday, with the caption, "Royal baby leaves the hospital," with, 2 well-dressed adults, a gentleman and a lady, and of course with a baby chimpanzee. And he made reference to the born prince. And that's him, Danny Baker. Worked for BBC Radio 5, and he was fired this morning for putting up that picture. Of course, he has apologized. He said he didn't mean that. But he's mature, he's experienced. Why would he know what that reference mean? I mean, when President Obama was president, there were quite a number of captions like that, making reference to him being a monkey. I don't know why they still do things like this. In this jet age, it is completely uncalled for. There's another school of thought who made mention that could be the thoughts of a particular set of people and they just needed a fall guy. This is absolutely unnecessary, is uncalled for. It is sad that we have people who still hold up that flag and making known that they are racist. Of course, he brought down the post, but he would say he had made, a statement already, which does not go down well. That needs to be put in check. Okay, at this point, we will say congratulations to Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa. She has once again been appointed the chairperson for the Diaspora Commission, because she's the senior special advisor to the president on diaspora matters. And then again, she's just been appointed as the chief executive officer of the Nigerian Diaspora Commission. As a rep member, she was a 3-time House of Rep member. She was the House Committee chairperson for Diasporal Affairs. And while she was there, she sponsored the bill seeking the establishment of the Nigerian Diaspora Commission. So it is been established, and she's been made to chair it. 2 weeks ago in Nigeria, some police officers arrested some people in a club, and there were quite a number of ladies there who they also took into custody. And then we heard the gory stories about how some of the police officers went ahead and forced their ways with these ladies, raping them. And some of the police officers did not use protection, and those of them who had used, and some of them used, what is it called? Sachet, pure water sachet, in raping these ladies. Some very terrible, horrible tale. Very, very unpleasant. Anyway, I don't know what the reaction of the Nigerian police is about this, but this is the way it's been going on, especially in the federal capital, how they've been molesting women. If they see you wearing jeans with crop tops, they would arrest you for whatever reason. When has the duty of the police left securing lives to running after ladies who are half dressed on the streets? Why would they be misplacing their duties? Anyways, the students of some students from the Federal Capital Territory took to the streets, and of course they went right in front of the Nigerian police station in Abuja, protesting. Hear them.
We will not be silent.
Nigerian women have a right to enjoy life.
Nigerian women have a right to enjoy life.
Nigerian women have a right to freedom.
Nigerian women have a right to freedom.
Police force.
Nigerian police
We are
force.
waiting for you.
We are waiting for you.
Nigerian police force.
Don't do your job.
Nigerian police force.
Nigerian police force.
Shame on you for raping inmates.
Shame on you for raping inmates.
Shame on you for raping the powerless.
Shame on you for raping the powerless.
Shame on you for raping poor women.
Shame on you for raping poor women.
Shame on you.
Shame on you.
Nigerian police force.
Nigerian police force.
Shame on you for targeting single women.
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 Come on now.
Shame on you.
Shame on you for targeting sex workers.
Shame on you.
Shame
You not hide. Come on.
Nonsense.
Shame on you for raping sex workers.
Shame on you for raping sex workers.
Shame on you for raping sex workers.
Shame on you for raping Nigerian women.
Shame on you for raping Nigerian women.
Nigerian police force.
Nigerian police force. Chidi, they know if you come out.
Come out now.
Very funny. There's no way they could have come out, but I'm sure that will send a message to them that they need to stop. And we should all give our voices to this. I stand with those young women. They are brave. For coming out to speak against them. It should stop. The other day we heard a senior police officer telling us that if you do not want to be shot by the police, you shouldn't speak grammar to them. If they speak to you, just go low-key broken or maybe one of the local languages. Don't speak grammar, else they get angry and they shoot you. issues, a lot of issues need to be dealt with back home. I'm sorry if that actually offends some people, but you know, we just need to keep talking about this thing and hoping that the change or the Nigeria of our dreams will come alive someday, hopefully. Okay, so we've been hearing about Brexit. Brexit, what is Brexit about? We do know what it is about, but there's another aspect of it which is... okay, what stage of Brexit are we in right now? Because the last time we were meant to have left, but there's still several discussions, deal or no deal. The Prime Minister getting a vote of no confidence. Anyway, talking about Brexit, I have someone who will shine more light on this with me on the program. He is Jimmy Ogunsimi, and he is a member of the European Parliament candidate for the Brexit Party. He isn't a member yet, but he is contesting as a member of the Brexit Party.
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you for joining me today.
And if I could correct it, Jimmy Ogunusi.
Jimmy Ogunusi.
Yes.
Okay then, thank you for joining me, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're standing as a candidate
in London,
I meant
yes.
to say,
yes.
For the Brexit Party.
Absolutely, yes.
Why the Brexit Party?
Why the Brexit Party? Very simply put, if you think back to roughly 3 years ago, we had a referendum. The then Prime Minister, David Cameron, promised that no matter what happens, they will honour the actual vote of the referendum. He resigned, okay, which was unexpected, and then Theresa May came into office, and then they actually Article 50 was actually obviously took place, and then roughly 498 MPs agreed for Article 50 to actually be instigated, which meant that whether we have a deal or no deal, we would leave on the 29th of March this year. Okay?
Did I say May?
Yeah.
Yeah, March, I meant to say.
29th of March.
May.
So, as far as I was concerned, we took the vote, we're going to leave on that date, or we have a good deal. Yeah? That date came, and there was no deal. And then it was extended to April. Further extension, we're now waiting until the 29th. So the 31st of October this year, so an extension.
Yes.
And within Parliament, there have been all sorts of what I'll call games, as I'll call it, okay, to try and actually thwart that referendum. Yeah? Given different reasons why we should not leave.
No, but what do you really think is the position of the Prime Minister? Do you think she really wants the UK to leave the EU?
It's very hard because I'm not in her mind. She's a Remainer in terms she voted to actually remain.
I know.
Yeah, but what she believes is very hard to tell. But again, when she came into office, she promised to actually honour that referendum.
But why do you support Brexit?
Why Brexit? Going back to what I was saying. At that point, I wasn't interested. Obviously, Brexit. Why do I support it?
Yes.
Well, Brexit. I believe that the UK, okay, should have control of its own borders, okay, its fishing waters, be able to actually have its own control of its own overseas borders, independence, because Europe or the EU is going down what I would class as a political union. Okay, and I believe in the actual integrity and in the actual sovereignty of the United Kingdom. It's as simple as that. Even before we actually had the right to the referendum, I'd want us to actually leave
You're
the EU.
talking about so that the UK will be able to have control of our borders.
Of its own borders, yes.
Did she not realize that before signing or before going into that agreement some 30 years ago?
Well, you mean then, but when we went into it back in the 70s, it was just purely the common market. It was just purely a trading bloc. And over the years, slowly, and what I call slowly, but unaware to a lot of people, we got closer and closer within the EU to what we class as a political union. That's where we're going. Now, if you think about it, the EU has its own flag, its own presidents, yeah, its own currency, yeah, and now it wants its own army. What does that mean? It's a country, and recently it was mentioned in the EU Parliament. They're looking to create an empire. It's as simple as that, and we want to retain our own national sovereignty, the UK. That is the main crux of it. Yeah? Empires eventually will crumble. Yeah? We want to remain an independent. We can actually trade together. Yeah? We can actually have collaboration, work together. But we do not have to be part of a political union of Europe.
What is the state of Brexit now?
The state is, it's almost in limbo because we have an extension to the end of October in terms of to actually get this deal agreed. But this so-called deal is actually a treaty. So we're saying we want to leave and we have to agree to another treaty to actually leave. And then after, we'll then have a discussion about how we're going to actually work together in terms of trade deals. It's absolutely ridiculous. You know, the way it's been negotiated, it's any average businessman will tell you the negotiation that's taken place is absolutely woeful. And to add to it, our MPs...
So you think, I'm sorry for cutting you short, but you feel it will actually be of great benefit to the United Kingdom to leave the EU?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In terms of, obviously, managing our own borders. Give an example now. We're actually on Ben TV. At the moment, there's actually, in terms of immigration, the EU citizens have a preference to non-EU citizens. So let's look at the Commonwealth, for instance. Okay? They have to actually abide by certain rules and regs in terms of immigration. It's not a fair system. And what we're saying is, in terms of managing our borders, we should be able to actually manage our own borders and not have open borders. That's what the EU actually has. So we manage our borders, and then we can then decide who comes and who doesn't come. Just like in Australia, a points-based system. Think about it. Nigeria, in Nigeria, people actually, we have an agreement. We just have open borders.
But it's really strange, you know, if you say the UK does not have control over...
No, it doesn't. No, it does not have control because from the EU, in theory or on paper, every EU citizen could end up coming to the UK. I can't see it happening, but they could actually end up coming here because it's open borders. It's as simple as that. Now, back during the Tony Blair days, when it was actually in power, they estimated that roughly probably 30,000, 40,000 will come in from the EU. 10 times that came into the UK. Yeah? Now, it's not just a question of numbers. If you're going to let 300,000 plus come into the UK, you need to actually make sure you have the infrastructure, the resources, to manage that. It's not surprising when you go to doctors, to hospitals, to schools. We have a huge influx.
Okay.
Now, so it's not about the numbers, it's about having the resources to actually manage that. Now, our so-called leaders did not do that. They did not actually put those things in place. So slowly, we've had a moshment in terms of the actual population.
Okay, you have a caller. Hello, I have Catherine from London. Thanks for joining us. Catherine, let's have your contribution.
Hi there. Thanks for having me. The relationship between the European Union and UK, I think, is a give and take relationship. So they are both gaining from this relationship. The main reason I'm calling is to actually speak to Mr. Jimmy. I mean, in my opinion, I'm not sure why a Nigerian man should be supporting Brexit when I'm a Nigerian, by the way, when most of us, we are immigrants. We relocated to this country. So supporting Brexit, I really don't get the logic. So if you came here, sir, or your parents came here, why do you have problem with UK, in quotes, controlling the borders? European Union or EU, they have more rights than we, or the Commonwealth countries. So, I mean, I personally, I have a problem with that. I mean, you shouldn't be part of this sort of Brexit party. I mean, but again, that's my opinion. So we're all free to express ourselves, I suppose.
Very much, Catherine. You know, this was our argument before we got on set.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I need you to respond to that.
Well, I'm going to respond, but I'm going to throw a question back. I hope she's still on. Catherine?
Catherine, are you still there? I don't. She will get it. She
okay.
She's listening.
My question is, why does she have an issue with that? Because she's saying, coming in, let's say an immigrant, let's say for instance from outside the EU comes in, they have certain controls, but from the EU there aren't controls. I don't understand what the issue is, what her issue is. There should be a fair system.
You see, that is why I would love to have someone like Nigel Farage, who is the face of Brexit, sitting up beside me here. Let us talk about this. Because a lot of people from our communities have a perception about Brexit that needs to be clarified.
But let me just say something. The mere use of the word immigration, people assume it's actually being racist. It's not. What we're saying is we should actually basically be able to actually control our own borders and have a fair immigration policy. In other words, and we manage the numbers, coming in, and the type of people that we want to come in.
When we talk about the over 300,000 that came in, is it mostly, the estimate of course, is it from the European Union or maybe from every other part, from the Commonwealth nations?
No, this is from the EU in terms of numbers coming through. It was a lot higher than obviously what was estimated.
Okay. Yeah. But why do people think the Brexiters are racist?
Well, it's very hard because, again, as I said, the use of the word immigration assumes that you're actually racist. In the party, we have a whole cross-section of people in the party. Again, whether you're actually sort of, we have a gentleman who's one of the lead candidates in London. He's actually partly from Pakistan. People assume that, again, it's actually racist. We're not racist. The word immigration doesn't mean that you're actually being racist. We're saying we have a fair immigration system. We can manage our borders to make sure those coming in, all right, we can actually manage it, just like in Australia or other places, even in Nigeria, for instance. We manage the actual borders. There's nothing wrong with that. But in terms of the actual EU, an open door policy means that anybody can come in. That also then, in a way, in terms of those, let's say come from the Commonwealth, don't get a fair shot, because then, if we have so many people coming in from the EU, that means you have to limit the number of people coming in from, let's say, other countries like India, Ghana, Nigeria. It's not a fair system.
Okay. So I want to ask you this question. So how can the Brexit Party, if you happen to become a member of the European Parliament, how can you help us get out of this entire situation?
Well, the idea of the Brexit Party is, with the forthcoming elections, is to actually vote in as many MEPs as possible, to actually go to Europe. Not only that, we want to be part of the actual withdrawal negotiation to make sure we do actually exit the actual, the actual EU. Thereafter, all right, remember, the reason why we've not left is because our MPs, the majority of them in Parliament, are Remainers. They don't want us to leave. And some of them actually want us to have a second referendum. The actual vote itself, we took the referendum, has to stand. It's about democracy.
Do you support a second referendum?
No, I do not. No, I do not. Because if you actually, two things I can think of. If you have a second referendum, all right, and we actually vote to actually remain, those who voted for Brexit say, hang on a minute, what about our referendum? It doesn't count. And then, based on what's happened in Parliament, let's assume that the Leavers, as in Brexit, actually win again. And I think probably there'll be even a higher majority. If they've not honoured the first vote, what makes you think they're going to honour the second vote, the second referendum?
No, because with the commotion in the last few months that we've seen on television, that we've seen in the Parliament, it is practically telling on the Prime Minister. It's like she's having sleepless nights.
She might be most Prime Ministers actually have sleepless nights because it's part of their job. But what I'm saying to you is the way she's actually negotiated our exit from the EU is actually questionable. If Brexiteers would have taken a complete different approach, I'll give an example. If you're based in Scotland, for instance, you advertise a car, I look at your car online, I go, I drive to Scotland, I tell you, by the way, Rose, I've come all the way from London. You're in Scotland. I want to buy your car. And by the way, before I leave, no matter what, I want that car. You're thinking, okay, this guy is very interested in my car. I then say to you, Rose, can you give me a discount? Can you reduce the price? What are you going to say to me? You're going to think, hang on a minute, this guy wants my car. My negotiation skills, I'm not going to budge. That's what's happened. The MPs in Parliament...
She's giving away easily?
Very easy. The way she's negotiated has been just pitiful. I'll be quite frank. I've got due respect for her in terms of being our PM, but the way they've negotiated has been pitiful, and our MPs have taken off the table this no deal. Once you take that off the table, you're saying to them, guess what? That no matter what happens, right, we're not going to walk away. When you're negotiating, you need to actually be prepared to walk away. Okay. Otherwise, the other party will see your weak spot. From more or less within days of the actual referendum result, the Remainers have been filing off to Europe, saying, how can we actually basically stop this? How can we stop this? The EU, with due credit to them, I've been thinking, we've got these guys because they're not united, okay, all right, and they're not going to walk away. They want to stay. The EU want us to stay for a number of reasons.
Because they are gaining more. Is that what you're saying?
Now, what I'm saying to you is they don't want us to leave. They want us because we pay a lot of money into the EU, all right? We're a big player in the EU. They don't want to leave. So what can we do, all right, to make sure they don't leave?
What would be the benefits for leaving?
The benefit?
Yes.
What, for the UK?
For the UK, like the international trade and immigration benefits for the
right.
For
as
the
I
UK.
said, in international trade, as it stands, okay, we cannot sign deals outside, into trade deals outside the EU. So, for instance, trading with the Commonwealth, we can't have trade deals. We have to go by the EU, obviously, what the EU says. In terms
so
of
we'll be able to make independent decisions.
Independent decisions. Yeah, we have that.
But how would this affect a lot of people from West Africa or even Africa? What would be the benefit to them?
Well, the benefit is not just international trade, but international development. If we, from the 70s, back in the 70s, we've actually moved away from being closer to, let's say, for instance, the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've been focused on the EU. There are lots of markets out there that want to do business with us. Yeah, but because we're actually tied into the EU, we can't do that. Immigration, there needs to be a first system. We have to manage our borders. We have to. Otherwise, you can't have free for all.
Okay.
And that means those from for instance, from the Commonwealth, like Ghana, Nigeria, India, will have a fair crack in terms of entering. Let's say I have a skill in IT, right? And because of the quota system, for instance, you have a skill set, right? Yes, we'll take you. And the Indian or the Nigerian is competing with a Romanian or a Polish person on the same level. That's fair. As opposed to, sorry, because you're from Poland, you have a preference. You can jump the queue. That's what we're saying. So, and it's things like our fishing waters, having that control there. You know, our courts, making decisions in our courts. Yeah? We slowly are actually becoming part of a political union.
Okay, so this is actually the other way around, because a lot of people from the African community think that leaving the EU will be of no benefit to them, but you're saying it's actually going to be...
The absolute opposite. And it's all about optics. The EU do not want us to leave. What can we do to make this as difficult as possible? And most of our MPs, again, are Remainers.
Two questions, hopefully, before we go. Number one, the Brexit Party has been talking about changing politics for good.
Yes.
What do they mean?
What they mean by that is, it's a slogan. What it means is that the two-party system that we have, okay, in other words, the two major parties, Conservatives and Labour Party, right, they've not honoured that referendum. They're not honouring it. They're saying they are, but they've actually taken away the no deal on the table, and we've not left the EU. What we're saying is we need to actually make a difference, and basically, if they're not going to change their way of thinking, we change those MPs. It's as simple as that. So, beyond the European elections, the Brexit Party are going to stand for any future elections.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the gentleman Nigel Farage, the face of Brexit.
Yeah.
Is moved from the UK?
Yes.
Was his position is also contesting, is it?
So, no, Nigel Farage is the leader of the actual of the Brexit Party. Yes. So he's also standing, I think, he's in the northeast as a sort of MEP. He's currently an MEP, but again, that tenure will expire after the actual forthcoming election, which will be the 23rd of May. That's the EU elections. So then he's actually standing again, yes.
Okay, so now he moved from the UKIP. Why is that?
Well, He started UKIP, and without Nigel Farage, we would not have left the EU. Yeah, or we would not actually had that referendum.
I know, because he was a really, really strong campaigner.
Yes, he spent roughly 20 years in the EU, yeah, campaigning for us.
And you think he knows better?
People call him the actual godfather, obviously, of Brexit, because he developed 20-odd years to get us out of the EU. In other words, basically...
How is the Brexit Party doing now?
Well, the party itself has been in existence for roughly 5 weeks, and all the polls out there show that for the EU election coming up, we're actually roughly between about 9 and 10 points ahead of everybody else in the country. Yes.
That's good.
So what that means is, in terms of European elections,
okay,
the Brexit Party will have the highest members of the EU Parliament.
Okay, for my viewers, if you're just joining us, I am speaking with Jimmy Ogunusi. Ogunusi.
Yes.
Okay, and he is a member of the Brexit Party and is contesting to be a member of the European Parliament.
Yes.
Okay, and then you guys are going to be the front runner in trying to direct the UK out of the EU.
Out of the EU.
Okay.
I think there are two things there, because we don't know what's going to happen between now and end of October.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah? So we're going to contest the EU election, which we're currently doing, and then beyond that, any future elections, including Peterborough.
Let's do this quickly. What sort of Brexit does the Brexit Party want?
Brexit, basically, as it stands, no deal. We basically leave with no deal, and then we have it, and we go into what we call WTO rules, yeah, World Trade Organization rules. So that gives us roughly 2 years, okay, to actually basically, it's like a transition period, to continue trading with Europe and working together, and within that time, we'll then negotiate a deal whereby a trade, obviously, a working deal, yeah? We could do that, but in Parliament, most of the MPs have rejected that.
There is too much literature on this, too many information out there. It's getting really confusing, you know?
It's getting confusing, but I tell you what, from my perspective, a lot of the MPs is almost like sort of smokescreen. They make it look very, very complicated, yeah? But behind it, the majority of our MPs do not want us to leave the EU. Either they don't want us to leave, or they want a second referendum. That's what the problem is. That's why we've not left, because they want us to stay. They're using other sort of issues to actually try and cloud the issue.
Okay, if this is really going to be of good benefit to the UK, and I think you guys have a lot of work on your hands. You started well. I mean, you got it, and you got the votes. Leave. There's no need for a second referendum.
There shouldn't, and it's not just about that, it's about democracy. When the UK has the oldest parliament, yeah, in the world.
Yes.
If we actually don't actually adhere to that what do you call it, that vote, where does that leave us?
True. Thank you very much. Okay, viewers, I've been speaking with Mr. Jimmy Ogunusi. He's of the Brexit Party and he is contesting to be a member of the European Parliament. Thank you very much for coming. Hopefully we're going to have you again so we could talk, shine more light on this, have more debates, of course, and looking forward to having Nigel Farage in our studio also. Yes, because we want the clarification, and being the face of Brexit, the godfather of Brexit, let's hear from him. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, so we'll be going on this break, and when we come back, something fantastic is going to be happening in the UK come June. June when? June. You would find out. Don't go away.
Supermodel with beautiful virgin hair products, the best real hair guaranteed with Pape and Camille Beauty Hair. Pape and Camille Beauty Hair products. 4-pack Brazilian Plus closure for £90. Special offer, Brazilian hair, 8 inches for £10, 10 inches for £12, 12 inches for £15. Lace wig frontal 10 inches starts from just £55. Find these and other great deals with 100% guaranteed human hair at the Papa and Camille store in Brixton. Hop into our Brixton store today or go online with free next day delivery at pchairlimited.com. With Papa and Camille, you have the freedom to be really gorgeous.
Bavidi Luxury Hotel, the newest home away from home in the Nigerian hospitality industry. 10 minutes only from the local and international airports. It's the perfect spot for your relaxation whenever you are in Lagos. 24-hour non-stop electricity, cozy and colorful rooms, Wi-Fi internet connection, and flat screen cable television. Bavidi Luxury Hotel, our exquisite restaurant and full bar are simply second to none in taste and style. Bavidi Luxury Hotel, we are located at the posh serene neighborhood in the Keja Business District. Your satisfaction is our first concern, so we train our staff to be professional and personable. Bavidi Luxury Hotel, number 20 Moshuda Bella Crescent, Ikeja, Lagos. Telephone +234 1291 7929 +234 708 287 7512. Bavidi Luxury Hotel, the new home away from home.
Look like a supermodel with beautiful virgin hair products. The best real hair guaranteed with Pape and Camille Beauty Hair. Pape and Camille Beauty Hair products. 4-pack Brazilian Plus Closure for £90. Special offer, Brazilian hair, 8 inches for £10, 10 inches for £12, 12 inches for £15. Lace wig frontal 10 inches starts from just £55. Find these and other great deals with 100% guaranteed human hair at the Papa and Camille store in Brixton. Hop into our Brixton store today or go online with free next day delivery at pchairlimited.com. With Papa and Camille, you have the freedom to be really gorgeous.
Okay, thanks for staying with us. You're watching Rose on All Sides. My name is Rose Peter Graham, and I have with me a gentleman from the ancient city of the Benin Kingdom, no other than Mr. Osa Iyamu. He is the brilliant mind behind the Edo Connect and is working really hard into seeing this great event that is coming up on the 22nd of June here in the United Kingdom, the Edo Summit. First time ever. He's working so hard to see it come alive. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for
having
me.
Mr. Osayemo.
Thank you.
How have you been?
I'm good. You know, I'm very happy to be here.
You look
Thank
really
you so
good
much.
in person. We've just been seeing all the magnificent videos you've been doing across the world.
We just try. We had to put an extra effort because we knew we were coming on Ben TV to see you. I'm glad you're impressed.
You see, I like what you're really doing.
Thank you.
Yes, because, you know, the news about Edo State, we know Edo State has a fantastic kingdom, a well-respected first-class Oba.
Yes, we do.
And, of course, we also hear some unpleasant information about Edo State. But then you have been working so hard into, you know, into making sure people realize that this state is there, the culture is preserved, the language is promoted, people are speaking it. I mean, the Edo people are people to be reckoned with.
Yes. We have a huge history, you know, from 1897. That's in terms of the British involvement in the 1897 expedition. We have all the artifacts in the British Museum. Benin people are always brought to prominence because the artifacts have traveled around the world. There's many people who come here to see it. So I think we're lucky in that sense. If any publicity helps, and the Benin artifacts has managed to bring Benin people to world prominence.
I know. How many are the Benin people? What, 6 million, 8 million?
The last time the census says it's somewhere between 4 and 5 million. But back home and even in the diaspora, we feel up to 40 or 50% of Benin people, Edo people, are resident in the diaspora.
What I really like about the Edo people, we know that the Yoruba is about over 30 million people around the world speak Yoruba. Benin people, maybe not that much, but you still manage to stand above, you know, still making sure like this kingdom, when they talk about tradition, when they talk about the people in Nigeria, yeah, those are there.
No, we have visibility because Edo is a special town. Like you have Yoruba people, Igbo people, all tribes resident in Edo State that live there, that have children there, that bear the name. So maybe if you're looking at Edo and waiting to hear Benin,
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was you just mentioned? The Yorubas. I heard there's a part where you have the Igbos, the Hausas in Edo State.
Totally. My family is married to an Igbo man, and my family is married to a Yoruba woman. Biodun is a Benin name.
Yes, I hear about all the. Yeah, I hear about all those names.
It's because of the location of the state, because of the Niger Delta and all. And I think historically, our culture is the oldest in I think the second oldest or the number one in the world. And coming from that and then the 1897, we were never the most populous state in Nigeria, but we had the best culture in the whole of Africa, not just Nigeria.
The best culture.
I think everybody would agree.
A very strong culture.
Yes, a very strong culture, very strong.
Okay, we will address that. But now you're working towards the first Edo Summit.
Yes.
In Europe, in the United Kingdom. Why the Edo Summit? One, because I want you to tell me all of this. I'm rolling all these questions into one. Why the Edo Summit? And of course, why in the United Kingdom?
The thing is, Edo people, we've traveled a lot. We're well traveled, and I think that's documented. But
yes.
As far as the Europe and the United Kingdom is concerned, this is our first summit because the stories, the researches, when I interviewed the Iyase of Benin, as a community, we have been able to, we have not been able to show our unity, as one. We have maybe up to 30 different associations, unions and alumni doing things in Edo State and Benin City, but we were not acting as one. So the leaders in Benin, it's not that the governor or the summit or something could not take place before, but it was hard to find us. It was hard to believe we were together as a unit. But now we can show that because since Edo Connect came, we've connected all the unions. We've been able to celebrate our culture. We've been able to show this person on the left is doing something, this person on the right knows about it. And we are well connected. We have the Edo International News. So the leaders can see that we are now one unit and they can address us. And hence we've decided to go ahead, with the summit.
Okay. So what do the Edo people in the diaspora hope to achieve with this summit?
With the summit
yes.
coming up? Well, Edo people in diaspora, we are very kind people when it comes to home, doing things at home. We have renovated, over the last 20 years. Edo people have renovated schools, built orphanage homes.
Oh, do you mean it?
Boreholes.
That's good.
They have gone past just looking after your immediate family. If you look on YouTube videos, there's Edos doing all random acts of kindness, going to schools, going to the market. People in diaspora keep sending money. There's recently a woman in Edo State last month, and the governor is doing some positive changes in terms of street hawking and stuff like that. And the task force kicked, because she kept on street hawking, so the task force kicked off the food she was selling. And I was following it, and in the 24 hours that followed, Edo people around the world sent her about almost 250,000 just for the wheelbarrow she was pushing with some rice. But because they see that, so we have gotten to that stage where we feel we have to join hands with our leaders to help.
That's beautiful. I was in Benin for 2 years when the NTA transferred me to Benin, and those women that push the carts, they do a fantastic job. And I know about a particular one. I think she sells beans and plantain, and she built a house out of just pushing that cart.
But this governor is quite very creative. This governor is not just good, this governor is modern.
Yes, because you talked about the Governor Obaseki coming for the summit.
Yes.
So what does this mean for the summit and mean for Edo people here in the diaspora. And that, of course, with the Edo people in Nigeria.
That the governor is coming.
Yes.
We are very excited. I don't know how happy I can show you, but from what we've heard, it's all positive with regards to what Governor Obaseki is doing. He's a Benin man, but he doesn't have a Benin base. People across the 3 senatorial districts in Benin will tell you, this man is good to the Asa, this man is good to the Afema, this man is good to the Benin. You know, they have, it's not been done before. The APC party have unanimously endorsed him as the only candidate in the 2020 election. That's when he's due for re-election. They don't want to hear. Anybody I speak to in the diaspora, even now we're planning the summit. I went for a meeting with the Uyedo Club on Sunday, and somebody said, we heard that the governor is, and somebody else said, no, don't say that. This is an excellent governor. You know, I've been around, absolutely. The man is well educated, the man is exposed, the man is showing that to the people. You know, he's very in tune with the palace.
This is interesting.
Great news. I think coming here to remotivate Edos who have sort of given up due to past, history in Edo State, to tell them we appreciate the help, we appreciate what you're doing. This is what my office, my tenure can offer you, and we tell him what we want, and then we meet somewhere in the middle. So we want to, start that interaction, hence the summit.
Okay, the Edo people here in the United Kingdom, how ready are they to receive the governor?
Well, in terms of excitement, I can tell you, I'm hoping we can contain ourselves. We're elated, but we set some rules. We're ready, but the rules to the summit is we are not going to spend time antagonizing this government about things that have happened in the past.
Okay.
When the governor comes, the way it's going to be is we're in the process of inviting all the alumni, all the associations, all the unions, and all the well-meaning Edos.
Yes.
You'll be given 7 minutes on stage.
Okay.
To say what you've been doing in Edo State,
yes,
to say who you are, and to say where you are struggling, where the governor can help you do more for Edo people, and the governor would fill us in.
Okay, so people are going to get tickets to this event?
Yes.
How much is it?
Well, the tickets range from £30 to £50, and the £30 was subsidized for the unions and the associations because they have more members. And the £50 is to reserve, for everyone else who is coming.
Okay, and where do they get it?
Well, we're putting the bank details out, tomorrow, and we start selling tickets by next weekend. We might close by the end of the month because the demand already is so high. He's a good governor.
He is, but the theme for the summit is joining hands with our leaders to improve Edo State.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not really going to be about the governor, but about the people supporting what the governor is doing.
But it gives the governor the opportunity to hear where the people, we're now renowned for renovating schools and doing orphanage homes, and Edo people say they're tired of that. We don't want to renovate schools or do orphanage homes. We want to do things that will impact people's lives, solar energy, new constitution.
Okay.
So the governor would hear that. And
yes, and of course, that's good. And would the former governor be around? Yes.
He's a great guy.
He did well with the roads.
He did.
He did fantastically well. I was there when those roads were being done. And of course, since his successor is also following in his footsteps.
He started the change. We were way back before Shomole came, and he really started doing
and they seem they're doing pretty well.
They're doing great now. It's all APC. But with the summit, the Edos in diaspora, we want to create a relationship with the government in place. Okay. It doesn't matter whether it's when this governor does come 2020. I believe he will win. But after 2020, he doesn't have anywhere else to go. So there will become a new administration. We want
He
to...
might get into the Senate.
True.
Usually, as it is with our politicians. But definitely, Osa, I'm looking forward to seeing the government, the governor. And for anyone that doesn't know, I'm from Edo State.
Thank you.
I'm Benin. My father is from Uzebu Quarters. My mom is from Ogbelaka. My name is Osagbomori Ogbonwa. Oh, what just happened? That's great.
Can I take you from here and just introduce another Benin lady to the Edo audience watching? She's actually from Benin.
Yes, I'm Benin. I love being Benin, from the ancient city of the Benin Kingdom. It's beautiful. It's Viedo, Wakoyo. No, it wasn't much, but hopefully I'm picking up.
Yes.
And my dad is going to be so upset with me right now.
Is your dad here or in Benin?
He's in Nigeria. He's in Benin, actually, and he'll be like, "Ugwazedo, Emma," something like that. And he usually tells us a particular proverb about a man who told the child when police officers came. He said, "Go and throw the gun away so the police would not know I have this." And the child said, "Daddy, should I go and throw the gun away?" And the police officer said, we don't have to, go into such. You're under arrest. So, we really need to learn how to speak our languages. Maybe I'm a bit on the tension, but there's quite a number of things I can say in Benin.
No, but I believe when we live here, I'm ashamed myself. My Benin is not so good.
Good, yes.
But not just Yoruba people who speak their languages at home. Polish, Italian.
I speak Yoruba. I speak Yoruba much more than I speak Benin. That's not good. And would Sir Victor Wifo be around
I
for
don't
the
know.
summit?
You're looking to hear Joromi. Maybe not this particular one. You see, I'm very proud. But I have to say also that
yes.
this summit, we're doing it on the 22nd of June. It's the International Day of Family Remittance. The venue is in Charlton. The venue is 108 Hall Lane. I can't quite pick it up in my head, but you could.
Don't worry, it's over, and we will help you. Yes.
But the 16th of June, the same week we're holding the summit, is the International Day of Family Remittance, which the UN has adopted last year. Governor Basaki was there in 2018, and he said he wants Edos worldwide to key into his blueprint on how he's going to develop Edo State. This year, celebrating the first year, the day is to celebrate not just Edo people, but people in the diaspora who has contributed to the development. Helping your family and helping your state.
Beautiful.
And the UN recognized
Beautiful.
that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Osayamo, for coming on the show.
Ms. Rose,
it's always a pleasure.
It's a great thing. Thanks for having me.
And interviewers' delights. Thank you very much.
You will be at the summit.
Hopefully, I'll be at the summit. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I'm meeting with my people.
Thank you very much.
That's one thing I'm looking forward to doing. Okay, viewers, that's the much we can take on to this show, and I do hope you enjoy every bit of it. We're going to do this again next week, and a really big thank you to everyone who has made this program a success, especially our sponsor, Papil and Camille and Beauty Limited, 22A Electric Avenue in Brixton. They're doing so well. Like I said before at the beginning of the show, I am wearing the 4th of the 15 range of styles of Papil and Camille. Do you like this? I particularly like this one because you know what? As an Hollywood, usually for Hollywood celebrities, they have a side of their face which, they show when they want to take pictures, the fine side. I think my left side is the fine one. And when I got this style, it was actually showing my left side. You remember the one I was wearing last week was like on this style, but this one particularly is on this style. Is really nice. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you again next week. Uche wants to get me out of here.
Supermodel with beautiful virgin hair products. The best real hair guaranteed with Pape and Camille Beauty Hair. products. 4-pack Brazilian Plus closure for £90. Special offer, Brazilian hair, 8 inches for £10, 10 inches for £12, 12 inches for £15. Lace wig frontal, 10 inches starts from just £55. Find these and other great deals with 100% guaranteed human hair at the Papa and Camille store in Brixton. Pop into our Brixton store today or go online with free next day delivery at pchairlimited.com. With Papa and Camille, you have the freedom to be really gorgeous.